Okay, hello everyone and welcome to Soma Vitality Wellness. So, in today's video, I'm going to tell you how to increase your progesterone naturally. So let's first understand, as we discussed in the last video, what is progesterone and what does it do. So as we learned from the last video, progesterone is an important sex hormone released from ovaries. It governs the second half of your menstrual cycle and has an important function like maintaining the uterine lining for healthy pregnancy, and also has an anti-anxiety effects. Now, as we know, progesterone has two different paths each month depending on the fertilization and the ovulation. If your ovulated egg is fertilized, then progesterone rises after ovulation to help thicken the uterine lining for the pregnancy. But if your egg does not become fertilized after ovulation, then progesterone peaks and then declines because you do not need to prepare for pregnancy. Now the uterine lining will shed and that becomes a period. Problems arise when progesterone levels are too low when you are trying to conceive. So what are the some ways we can start to increase progesterone naturally? Now first is to eat healthy fats to increase progesterone. Now it has shown that healthy fat consumption, especially polyunsaturated fats, are associated with increased progesterone and decreased anovulation. So increasing that in your diet is important to increase your progesterone level. Now sources of healthy fats are your avocados, nuts, seeds, fish, olive oil. These are all sources of healthy fats. Secondly, what you can do is to increase your progesterone naturally is balancing your blood sugar. Now this is because the blood sugar, if it is not balanced, then your body can either become hyperglycemic or hypoglycemic during any given day. Now this puts stress on the body. By balancing the blood sugar, you are allowing the body to maintain stable levels throughout the day, which decreases the stress and increases the progesterone naturally. Third way you can increase progesterone is by managing the stress. Now, when we are stressed, we release high level of cortisol, a stress hormone. So, have you ever wondered why stress impacts your cycle or your fertility? The reason is simple words is that cortisol is made up of same ingredients as progesterone. And your body will always choose survival over reproduction. So stress can be caused by, there are different factors for it, maybe because of the job environment, it could be family problems, too much of exercise. Another major one is that we see a lot in the clinic is stress of getting pregnant or the act of conceiving. So that is another causes and stress in your body. Now managing that stress will decrease the amount of cortisol that we release, and therefore will increase progesterone naturally as we are not threatened and pregnancy is safe. Fourth way you can increase your progesterone naturally is by doing gentle exercise. Now, understanding that exercise is very important for many functions, but it also helps when increasing your progesterone naturally. Now, it is important here to remember that do not do intense exercise because this can actually keep your progesterone levels low again by increasing the stress. Now, over-exercising puts high stress on the body, and when you are not taking advantage of the rest that your body requires. So, doing gentle exercises like yoga, going on a walk, a bike ride, or a swim are all moderate intensity and are perfect way to move your body and increase your progesterone naturally. So, if you can hold a conversation while completing the activity or exercise without needing to catch your breath, is what we call a moderate intensity exercise. So these gentle exercise, what they do is they help you in maintaining a comfortable body fat percentage, which again can affect your progesterone production. So as a rule of thumb, most females need at least 17% body fat to maintain a normal hormone function for a healthy and regular menstrual cycle. Fifth way you can increase your progesterone is reducing caffeine from your diet. Now, caffeine is a stimulant and it promotes the stress response in the body. Now, stress is linked to progesterone imbalance. So, lowering your caffeine intake, especially when we are already low in progesterone, will cause the body to increase progesterone naturally. Now, caffeine also affects the way women metabolize estrogen. So this is why decreasing caffeine intake is also beneficial in increasing progesterone naturally. So here I'm going to tell you a very important tip that can help you increasing your progesterone naturally is seed cycling. Now the seed contains phytoestrogen, minerals, vitamins and healthy fats which all have shown to balance hormone levels. So by consuming certain seeds in specific times during the cycle can help regulate and balance your hormones. So I'm going to tell you the tips. Seeds to consume and seed cycling are 1 tablespoon of ground flaxseed and 1 tablespoon of pumpkin seed in the first half of your cycle. That means day 1 until ovulation. And 1 teaspoon of sunflower and 1 teaspoon of sesame seeds in the second half of your cycle, which means from ovulation until your next period. So that is another tip that you can use to balance your hormones and increase your progesterone naturally. Another way you can increase your progesterone naturally is by consuming evening primrose oil. Now, evening primrose oil is one of the only foods that contain optimal amount of omega-3 and omega-6 fatty acids. So the healthy fat composition in the primrose is the main mechanism why it can increase the progesterone naturally. It has been found that it also is beneficial during PMS symptoms, which again is tied to low progesterone. Another way you can increase your progesterone is by a herb called Vitex. Now, Vitex, some call it chasteberry or chaste tree. They're all common names of the Vitex. Now, the medicinal component of the plant that comes from the essential oil and the flavonoids present in it. How the mechanism works is because it decreases the prolactin, which allows the full development of the corpus luteum, the organ that releases progesterone, and in that way it in the body it causes progesterone level to increase. Another thing is the Vitex also stimulates the luteinizing hormone, which is a brain hormone that signals the ovaries to produce progesterone. So that's why including it in your routine can increase your progesterone naturally. Another ninth thing that I'm going to tell you that increases your progesterone naturally is adding minerals. Now, what are those? Magnesium is one of them. Magnesium, as we know, is a mineral that helps in muscle protein synthesis, nerve functioning, and is also cofactor in many enzymatic reactions. So studies have also found that magnesium has an inverse relationship with estrogen. So when your magnesium levels are increased, the estrogen decreases. Now we know that estrogen and progesterone also works in opposition. So when estrogen levels are low, this means that there'll be an increased level of progesterone, and that is another way to increase it naturally. Now you can include it in your diet. Good sources of magnesium is your nuts, seeds, fish, legumes, and leafy green vegetables. It's a very, very high source of magnesium that you can include in your diet. Another mineral to include in your diet is zinc to increase your progesterone. Now, zinc is an important mineral and it helps promote the reproductive system. Zinc also increases the number of binding sites on the progesterone receptors, which also helps in increasing the progesterone naturally. Now, good source of zinc includes poultry, nuts, and seeds that you can include in your diet. 10th and the last thing you can do to increase your progesterone naturally is to include some vitamin in your diet. Now, vitamin B6 helps in increasing progesterone naturally. It's another water soluble and it promotes the reproductive system. So B6 is also a powerful vitamin for cognitive development, for gluconeogenesis, lipid metabolism, and protein metabolism. So very important factor to include in your diet is vitamin B6 that you can include. Another vitamin to include in your diet is your vitamin C. Another water soluble vitamin increases in progesterone naturally. Now we all know it has beneficial functions in improving immunity and also helps in maintaining the tissue and skin integrity. Now, food sources of vitamin C includes your citrus fruits like kiwi, strawberries, broccoli, sweet potato, red pepper. There's so many of them that you can include in your diet to increase your vitamin C uptake. So, as you see, there's so many. We discussed today 10 different ways how you can increase your progesterone naturally. Now, if you are looking to understand your progesterone and how to balance your hormones, then book a 30 minutes free consultation with us. Also, if you think that information is nice and you liked it, then don't forget to give it a like on the video and subscribe to our YouTube channel. And I'll see you in the next video.